Let's move on to the left panel bar. Apart from the actual process map view, we can see the dynamics of the process flow. You can do so by clicking on the process animation. Compared to the process map, which shows static information, the animation is used to visualize the development of the process over time. This brings a new perspective on how the process behaves in a certain time of year or month. The animation playback control is located in the bottom part of the screen. After clicking on the play button, you can follow the month or other time frame when the process flow was happening. The third feature is the chart. You can create charts based on the process and investigate dependencies and distributions in the process. It is recommended to use chart features to discover specific information, usually when you have already acquired a more detailed understanding of the process. In the settings on the right, you can create line charts, bar charts, or pie charts to create basic visualizations of your data. Since Minit dashboards are available with more detailed and complex visualizations. Another important section is statistics. Here you can get the basic information about the process. How many cases are in the process? How many events, activities? How many resources work within the process? What is the median duration, the start and end of the entire process? Mean active time or mean waiting time? You can look at statistics from whatever perspective from the case level attribute that you uploaded at the beginning. When selecting, for example, the user attribute, you can see how many cases or events were performed by the respective users and how many rework they've been involved in. Another interesting option is the case duration influence analysis. It is a complex analytical insight that automatically evaluates the influence of case level attributes on the overall mean case duration. A positive percentage number in red means that the corresponding attribute value is slowing down the process. The negative percentage in green is, on the other hand, making the process faster, and their influence on the overall mean duration is represented by the percentage value. In our case, we see that the customer number 114 had the largest negative influence on the overall process. This metric is useful when you want to find out what are the points for process improvements regarding case duration. Perhaps you find out that some department is not performing well, or a particular location is problematic. Let's move on to the variance part that was discussed earlier, but in this section, you can get a more statistical view. On the left side, you can see all variance included in the process. We can sort it by case count to see the most frequent variance, or by event count to see the longest variant, as it contains the most events. You can also see the percentage they cover compared to the whole dataset. In the center, there is a variant overview, or so-called variant DNA, with the corresponding legend to get a more visualized view of the variance. By clicking on the particular variant, you will get its statistics, such as steps that are included in it, mean duration between them, active and waiting time, information about coverage or filtered coverage when one is applied, the time period when this variant occurred, and to what extent. Below the chart, there's information about timestamps, duration, active time, and waiting. And when you switch to the finance view, there will be information from the financial perspective. By clicking on the next marker, Cases Table, you will get an overview of the particular cases that have the selected variant. Or you can click on the Cases Gantt marker to see Gantt charts that illustrate the schedule of activities. Process Compare is another interesting tool. You can either compare your processes with a reference model, two different processes, or compare the most used process variants. To do so, we have to create and save two views. To create the first view, choose Variance Filter. Choose variant number 1 and apply. We can see a process map of the most used variant number 1. By clicking on the Save icon in the top corner, we can save this view as variant 1. To create the second view, we go back to Filters and invert the same filter. By doing this, we choose the rest of our dataset, although excluding the first variant. Click Apply and save this view as excluded variant 1. Now by clicking on the Process Compare functionality on the left, we can compare our saved views. Click on the plus icon on the bottom right and choose to add variant number 1 to our comparison. Let's add more activities to our view to get more information on comparison. We get to see our two views color-coded in the same process map. The blue-colored activities belong to the first process. The orange-colored activities are the common activities occurring in both views, and the green-colored activities belong to the compared process. By clicking on any of the activities or paths, we can compare performance, rework, or even financial indicators directly in the activity panel. You can also do a social analysis by clicking on the social chart in the Customize panel. The social chart will immediately change the look of your process map into a circle representing all the affected users and the relations between them. By clicking on the performance analysis and choosing mean duration, you can see how long an average communication between the users took. By clicking on any of the paths, you will find further useful information on the Path panel on the right.